Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Bacon. Welcome to the show, y'all. Look here. And one has got the business from the board. They told him to get his GED and he'll be released from prison, right? So he goes to tell the OG that. OG is excited about it, but he puts him on the bench because he don't want him to get in any trouble. He don't want anything that can interfere with him going home because he's got work he needs him to put in, right? Now, he ain't telling him the whole story about what this is and what's really going on. At least not yet. He can't tell him that yet. Because it's personal. Personal. It's about him and his gal. Got nothing to do with the business. You feel what I'm saying? But see, a lot of times the personal gets mixed with the business and it becomes the business. You understand what I'm saying? So here's the thing. Now you're looking at a situation where you got people that feel as though, and one is being treated special. And they pushing at the OG, telling him, man, just because he going home, it don't mean he just get to sit around and do this, that. And the OG got to push back and tell him, look, I make the decisions, not you. You don't get to decide what's going to happen and who's going to do what I do. And see, when you in charge, you got to be fierce. It ain't but room for one lion in the jungle, y'all. Just one. You got to be fierce about this thing. So he's telling them, don't play with me. He gonna put in work when he get home. Now, one thing about being a part of a gang, you never know who is a part of it, who's not a part of it, who's retired, who's playing a different role and all this and that. Because you got a lot of gang members that get out of the penitentiary and they want to lean back, so they'll start a business and they'll do this. They'll still pay dues and all these other types of things, but they over here in the cut. They over here in the cut. And see, one of the OG's kinfolks, that's what he was. He was the business, man. He was all through and through gangster. But he had his own shop. And all the brothers were going there from every affiliation, you know what I'm saying, and get chopped up, right? Because that was like the DMZ. You know what I'm saying? No problems in here. Anybody can come in here to get their hair cut. This is where everybody chill. This is where a lot of conversations that have brought peace about have taken place. This is also where a lot of conversations have taken place to where people find themselves missing in action. See, a lot of times, things go on in the business to where, sacrifices must be made. And when I say sacrifices, I'm not talking about you giving up something, right? Like, not that type of sacrifice. I'm talking about somebody might have to be sacrificed for the greater good of the business, right? Somebody crosses a line and they come together in the shop and they decide that, okay, this is what it's going to take, you know what I'm saying, for us to get peace. You feel what I'm saying? We got to get rid of dude. That's just what it is. And if you don't want to do that, let's go to war. See, those are the types of conversations that could take place in the shop. And a lot of people that, don't understand how this lifestyle works, they don't understand that. See, you could be, right now, a conversation could be taking place about you, deciding your life, your well-being, and you don't even know it. You don't have any idea what's being said about you right now by some individuals that might not want you to be around anymore. And you got to respect that. You got to respect that. Because that's the life that you chose. Because if you make it, maybe one day, you'll be on the end of the business where you get to decide that, if that's what you aspire for. But who wants to be that? Who wants to aspire for that? You see? So here's the thing. Let me explain something else to y'all. A lot of people make a lot of moves in the business that don't seem to be fair. They make a lot of decisions about doing things to people for personal reasons, and that's what the OG was doing. But see, his cousin worked at the shop. And he was in touch with his cousin was in touch with him, and his cousin was letting him know what his girl was doing, you know what I'm saying, and didn't now want him like it. But something had to be done about it. But it had to be done by somebody that couldn't make it connect back to him. You feel me? Because this is another set on the crib hood. You understand what I'm saying? So it can't be this outwardly thing about we fighting over a gal. Huh? Really now? Nah, we gotta disguise this thing. And let me get back to the penitentiary. See, And1, he getting a lot of love, man, from the OG. The OG telling him, man, look, everything gonna work out just fine. Everything gonna work out just fine. You feel what I'm saying? But see, it's some things that I need you to know before you go home so you will understand you can't slip on the business. You gotta keep in mind that And1 ain't been part of this lifestyle a good 2 years now. He didn't really want it. He didn't really want it. He just displayed a lot of heart. And that's something that appealed to the OG. But at the same time, right? See, you gotta have heart to do something stupid. You understand? Listen to me. I know y'all gonna be like, no, you don't, Joe T. I'm telling you, listen to me. You gotta have heart to do something stupid. Right? But at the same time, you ain't gotta have brains to do it. See, it takes a lot, man. I know a lot of people want to tell you on TV, man, it don't take nothing to do this and don't take nothing. Man, look, man, when you get ready to make some of the decisions that got to be made within this gang lifestyle, man, you can't have no weak stomach. You can't have no weak stomach. You got to be, in a lot of situations, you got to be stupid, but you can't be weak. You feel me? And we ain't talking about no Hollywood description of what makes somebody strong, you know what I'm saying, or makes somebody courageous and all that. We ain't talking about that. We talking about street definitions here. And see, And1, he had a lot of heart, but he was naive to the game. So the OG schooling, the OG telling him, he said, look, man, I need you to understand something, man. Dude got somebody out there, man, that's messing with my gal, man. Now, And1 don't know all the ins and outs, so he don't understand, you know what I'm saying, that this is not something that the OG should be having to put in work for. He don't understand that, but so he going along with the move because he wouldn't want nobody doing that to him. He like, yeah, that's messed up. He said, and besides, he ain't on our hood. He ain't on our hood. He need to be taken care of. So he telling And1 all this, and And1 is sucking it up, right? Because he don't fully understand. He just know he wouldn't want nobody messing with his guy and doing him like that, especially while he was locked up, for sure. Under any circumstances, for sure, but especially when you locked up. So he gets just as upset as the OG. That's what the OG wanted. Get him upset. Now he knows that And1 got the heart to do what he was about to ask him. And he also is satisfied that And1 ain't thinking this through right and don't understand because a lot of things about the lifestyle he don't know. So he's not factoring in that this is a bogus mission. And the OG likes that. So he tells me, he said, man, when you get out, I want you to put in work on dude, man. I want you to ride through and I want you to spray him. Now don't get it twisted. Like I said, And1 didn't really want to do this. He really didn't want the lifestyle. But he got to go along with the move. He got to go along with the move, man. You feel me? Got to. Because if you don't go along with the move, he might not make it these next few months and had opportunity to get out of the penitentiary. So he goes along with it. He telling him he gonna do it. So every day, the OG pumping it, filling him full of this gasoline. At the same time, having him with his schoolwork and all this and that. Look here, them 3 months, they fly by. Fly by. He take the test. Now you gotta wait another 21 days, 28 days before the results come back. The results come back. Bang, bang, bang. He passes. He passes. They put it in the computer. He goes downtown. Downtown sees it. They put in an out date for him. He got to get his home plan together. They call him down to parole off, get his home plan together, get a job plan together, all this type of stuff, tell him the parole conditions, all this and that. They go by, they check the house and make sure everything is straight. Everything was Gucci. Now they tell him he's going home in 2 weeks. He got a date. Going home in 2 weeks. He's so happy, he don't know what to do. Now a lot of the younger homeboys that he been kicking it with in his spare time, they started to give him the business, the real business. They breaking him down, educating him to this and that and that and this, right? And see, one of the guys that he had gotten cool with named Jake started telling him, look, man, ain't nothing personal in this lifestyle. This is all the business, right? And we ain't supposed to be getting no personal stuff about no gas, no this, no that. Now, Jake don't know. Listen to me. Jake don't know what the OG been telling him and one about his gal done got scooped by one of the homeboys on another set. He don't know nothing about that. See, and one been sworn to secrecy about the business, not to say nothing about that to nobody. So he don't say nothing about it to Jake. You know, and he's closer to Jake than anybody else other than the OG. But he listening. And in his mind, he decided, he said, that's my get out of the jail free card right there. I'll just wait till I get out. And then I'll tell him, man, I ain't supposed to be doing that anyway. You wasn't supposed to be asking me to do nothing like that. That's personal. He keep that in the back of his cranium, right? He don't say nothing to the OG. The OG still, the next 2 weeks, he pumping him. He got him on hype about taking care of the business. You feel what I'm saying? And to make matters worse, listen to me, y'all. To make matters worse, the OG been talking to Gal. He still been talking to her. He weak for the relationship. He need her. So he's accepted. See, she don't know that he know the business. You listen to me. She don't know that he know the business. His cousin at the barbershop is cutting everybody's hair. He know he the one keeping him in the loop. But he don't know. She don't know that he know. You understand? So he playing his role with her too. You see? Are you following me? He playing his role with her too. So now, in 2 weeks, then went by. And one's people, they there to pick him up. He do his goodbyes to everybody, and the OG tell him, man, look, I'm going to give you a call, and I'm going to tell you when it's straight to do, man. I got to, you know what I'm saying, get the guys to go through there, make sure he going to be there and all. He's telling them all this stuff like it's a real clandestine, you know what I'm saying, top-notch A1 type of business, right? He got him filled up with all of that. And one tell him, I got you, OG. He goes home. Oh my goodness. They throw him apart. His parents and them, they throw him apart out this world, welcome him home. He tell them he gonna get his life straight. He telling them about his experiences in prison. They just sitting there listening, horrified. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that he went through that, and his daddy said, well, you leave it all behind. They said penitentiary mess. You ain't got to do none of that no more. And Ann one telling him, I already know. I'm done with all of that. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that stuff. I don't want nothing to do with that gang stuff. I don't want nothing to do with none of that. Look here. The next day, about lunchtime, the phone rang. It's the OG. He done got a way to call him. He calls him. Ann one give him the real number. He get him on the phone. He talking to Ann one. He said, look here, man. Take care of the business, man. You'll be able to do it next Wednesday, 6 o'clock on the dot. He gonna be at the spot. Drop through there. Brother them gonna come by and drop that heat off to you so you can take care of the business. When you finish taking care of the business, drop the heat off to them. They gonna put it up and we good. And then you can just do you, right? I'll just be there when I call on you. And one tell him, he said, look here, homie. This personal, man. I ain't supposed to be doing none of that, man. You know that. Why you asking me to do something that's dealing with you and your gal? That ain't the business. Look here. OG started tripping. His head spinning like a top. He's like, what you mean? What you mean you ain't gonna do it? I'm telling you what it is it's gonna be. He said, man, you say something about me not doing it, I'm gonna tell the family, man, the homeboys that this personal. You want me to do something to one of the other homeboys on another hood, you know what I'm saying, on another set, because he got your gal. That's personal. I ain't supposed to be doing none of that. You take care of your own business, homie. Man, the OG felt so disrespected. Pissed him off. He said, okay, dig it. That's what's up. You want to play games like that? I took care of you when you was in here. He said, man, you forced that on me, man. You trying to take advantage of me. You ain't care nothing about me. He said, so I did what I had to do to get up out of it. I played you like you played me. Oh, that pissed the OG off. Oh, hey, he pissed. He said, that's what's up. He said, you won this round. He said, then that's what it is, then. He hung up on him. Get up off the phone. Man, the OG pissed, but he gotta stay cool. Gotta stay cool. He go back to the cell. He laying in the bunk. He trying to figure out what his next move gonna be. Man, because if dude go say something to the homeboy that's on the other hood or his gal, then they could fall back on him, man, and they can take care. Man, look here. Let me tell you something. When they flip on an OG, it ain't nothing pretty. Because you got to have guts to go put hands on an OG. When they make that triple OG call, man, that take guts, because psychologically, the OG is he that 10-foot tall dude. So psychologically, you got to whoop him first before you can physically do it. And most people, they can't get there. But it's always somebody there. It's always that one hyena. Listen to me. It's always that one hyena that's laughing with them teeth out, ready to get him. And he's thinking, nah, I can't have that happen to me. It's a threat. And one is a threat, man. He done become a threat. You know what you do with threats, right? You neutralize them. You neutralize all threats. So check this out. Check this out. You remember the dude that run the barber shop that some kin to him? Yeah, him. Right, him. He calls him, he tells him what the business is. He tell him how N1 played him. He tell him how he might say something to somebody else on the other hood, and then it fall back on him. He said, man, we got to take care of that. He said, man, you got to put the team together for me, man. He said, you sure you want to do this? What his kinfolk at the barbershop said, you sure you want to do this? He said, man, he might not say nothing. He just want to let it blow over, leave him alone. He's like, nah, I can't take that chance. He said, man, that's what's up then. He said, I'll take care of it. He said, when you want it done? He said, the next time he come to the shop, man, when he leave, man, call them guys, man, and tell them to put in work. So that next Wednesday come by. And one stop by the shop. He getting his hair cut. While he in the chair, he don't even know dude is his cousin. Dude is OG's cousin. He talking to him and telling him he met OG, and he ain't saying nothing negative about him though. He's like, yeah, he alright dude, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. You know, dude saying all this and that. They talking back and forth. Ain't nobody saying nothing bad about each other, right? But and one got this bad feeling. He seen dude at the barbershop go get on the phone. He called somebody, and all he heard him say is, yeah, he here now. That's all he heard him say. He finished chopping him up. He get up out the chair. He walking out the shop. When he walk out the shop, you seen two of them masked dudes. They run by. Look here. He strike out running. Strike out running. They hit him though. Flipped him. Knocked him down. He get up and he try to run some more. And he get away. Get to the hospital. He's okay. The message is received. You either take care of the business or you become the business, man. At that point, and one knew to never say another word about nothing to nobody. He didn't want to take that chance, because what if they came against his family? What if they did all of that? So when OG called him again, he took the call. He said, man, look, I'm done. I ain't got nothing to say about nothing to nobody. Just don't send them at me no more. He said, your word is your bond. He said, my word is my bond. And one, the next day, his mom and them sent him out of town to another state to live with his kinfolks. He ain't been back since. Listen to me, y'all. You want to live this lifestyle? It costs for a lot. You either take care of the business or you become the business. You don't want to live like that. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.